Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Poppy visits Lay to discuss the paternity test, and Brooks decisive vexes Steffi. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. At Forrester, Steffi fumes that she's not running the company with Brooke. Ridge tells his daughter she's a born leader, but she can't do this alone. Steffi says making her work with Brooke would be a disaster for the company. I refuse to let that happen. Ridge needs to get back to design. Steffi protests, we're a team. Ridge isn't leaving, he'll still be here. Steffi rants, so Brooke is the answer. How could you possibly think that was a good idea? At Bill's place, he hands Katie a coffee and thanks her for coming back over. I think you know what I want to talk about. Katie nods, yes, Poppy and Luna, your long-lost daughter. Bill says it was a shock. But a good shock. Life-changing. He's sure it was shocking for her too. He wants to know how she feels about him having another child with another woman. Poppy drops in on Lay at the hospital. Her sister sniffs that she's very busy. Poppy enters and closes the door. Lay asks what she wants. Poppy says, I want to talk to you about the paternity test. She complains that Lay inserted herself into a very personal moment for her, Bill, and Luna. Lay thought everyone would have peace of mind with a licensed professional doing the test. Poppy doesn't want to fight. She hopes now that Bill is established as Luna's father, they can move past the tension. Lay asks, so what? You want us to make amends? Poppy does. She hates what's become of them, and misses her sister. She recalls how they used to be so close and tells a childhood story about being punished by their mother. Poppy remembers that she was in her room alone, crying and hungry, and Lay came in and comforted her. I want my big sister back. Lay tells her that was a long time ago. Poppy feels like it happened yesterday. She knows she let her down in the past, but she's let her down too. She's really hurt her, but she's willing to forgive her and have a fresh start. Lee asks if this is because she finally got what she wanted. A powerful rich man. Poppy looks confused. Lee doesn't know what she wants her to say. Her opinion of her hasn't changed. She's happy for Luna though. The poor girl finally knows who her father is. Poppy says money or not, Bill is everything she could want in a man. He's strong but sweet and tender. He's in awe of what kind of father he is. I really wish that you could move on from your issues with me, but that is your call, so thank you, Lee, for running this paternity test and making my dreams come true. At Bill's place, Katie tells her ex she has a lot of thoughts. She loves Luna, but can't understand how Poppy could keep the truth from him for so long. Bill says she was scared. Katie muses, because of her love for you. That night you two shared 20 years ago must have really been something. Bill asks Katie if she's threatened by him having a child with another woman. Katie assures him she doesn't feel threatened. She's happy for him and Luna. Bill knows there's something there. Katie has mixed feelings and most of them aren't justifiable. She reflects that he never had a relationship with Wyatt and Lan's mothers or lived with them as a family. They lived together in that house and she felt that part of his heart always belonged to them. Bill says they always will. And yet you're here with a brand new family living in the house where we raised our son. She knows it sounds stupid. Bill tells her she could never sound stupid and she and Will can never be replaced. Katie says they have a lot of good memories in that house. They recall Will taking his first steps. Bill hasn't forgotten. How could he? He will always hold those special memories close to his heart. At Forrester, Steffi complains that Ridge went to Brooke with this before her. Ridge went to her first because he didn't even know if she'd be interested. It turns out she didn't want to do it either because she was concerned about how Steffi would feel. He kept pushing because Brooke is what's best for the company right now. Steffi argues that she's not, he is. Ridge needs to rejoin the design team. Steffi tells her father that he's saying this is a business decision, but asking her to work with Brooke is personal and he knows it. Carter intervenes to back up Ridge on Brooke's credentials. Hope agrees. No one is more qualified to lead the company into the future than her mother. All you have to do is say yes. Steffi glares. Hope thinks Brooke deserves the position, that's why Ridge offered it to her. She shouldn't let Steffi's unfair opinion sway her. Steffi rolls her eyes. She's only saying this because she threatened to cut her line. Hope tells Steffi she's out of touch. Ridge, are you sure you're the co-CEO who needs less on their plate? Ridge didn't call this meeting to fight. Hope snaps that someone clearly can't see past their disdain for anything Logan. Ridge says there's no reason for any of this if they don't know Brooke's answer. What do you say? Do you accept my offer? At Bill's place, he and Katie reminisce about Will growing up in the house. They wouldn't have traded it for anything. What they had was about as perfect as it could get. Until he ruined it. He'll never forgive himself. Katie says his thing with Brooke is in the past. She knows he's over her. She wants the best for him and Luna. Bill appreciates that. Katie says they'll have to talk to Will sooner rather than later. Bill needs to keep it out of the press until then. They joke about ripping off the bandage until Bill gets a text that something is brewing at Spencer. He tells Katie to stay and finish her coffee. Stopping in the doorway, Bill tells her it was nice sitting and talking to her. He feels how he will always feel. You're my Katie. Katie sighs as he leaves. She looks at the framed photo of her, Bill, and Will, and flashes back to the good times. Suddenly Poppy walks in and asks what she's doing there. At Forrester, Carter, Ridge and Hope appeal to Brooke to accept the offer. Hope says they can't just let Steffi steamroll everything to do with the Logans. Steffi grits. Do I need to remind you that the name on the outside of this building is Forrester? Founded by my grandfather and my grandmother, my namesake. Brooke says that will never change and no one wants to dishonor her grandparents. What Steffi had done there is quite remarkable, and her grandmother would be proud. She thanks everyone for recognizing her contributions to the company and laments that Steffi doesn't want to work with her. She was looking forward to combining their talents to see what they could do together for years to come. But obviously, she doesn't want to do that. Ridge supposes this means that she's turning him down again. Brooke says she'll just have to have faith that she and Steffi will work together one day, quite well. They'd have to, but they don't want to dishonor Eric and Stephanie. She's not going to turn Ridge down. She's honored to say yes. She knows Steffi isn't thrilled. But this isn't Forrester versus Logans. This is Forresters and Logans united. Trust me.